Many thanks for staying with us. To balance regional growth, President Bola Tinubu signed into law the establishment of development commissions and also established the Ministry of Regional Development to bridge the gap between urban and rural areas, address disparities in income, infrastructure and access to services. Decentralizing development, experts say, will foster equitable economic growth across all regions as resources will be allocated effectively to meet specific regional needs, avoiding duplication and inefficiencies. We now have with us in the studio the Minister of State, Regional Development, Uba Maigari Ahmadu, to shed more light on the wisdom behind the decisions and what to look forward to in the nearest future. Many thanks for joining us, Honorable Minister.
Thanks for having me.
All right, now let's begin. Could you just let us know what the ministry has been doing so far?
Well, Mr. President created in his wisdom the Ministry for Regional Development exactly on the 23rd day of October 2024, appointing Engineer Abubakar Momo and I as Ministers and Minister of State to oversee the new Ministry of Regional Development. Like the name suggests, we've been tasked with the responsibility of coordinating the federal government's activities at the sub-regional levels. What the federal government intends to do, going by its renewed hope or our renewed hope agenda program, is to implement specific projects, developmental projects across the length and breadth of the country. You will agree with me that the federal government has been having gaps here and there, especially in implementation of its projects and programs down to the subnationals level and, of course, the local governments. And you know very well that Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's constitutional powers reside in him, and it has limitations like all other public offices. As a Democrat and a law-abiding president who leads by example, he thought it wise to set up this ministry so as to capture all developmental issues that need to be addressed both at the state's level and at the local government's level.
Beautiful, Honorable Minister. Let's talk about the commissions now. The NEDC and the NWDC are under your watch. One has been in existence while the other is just about to take off. What are the priorities in these regions? Well,
the priorities are much the same. For the NEDC, you know its history. It was created by late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, and you know the reasons not to waste too much time that gave birth to or necessitated the creation of the NEDC, of the NDDC. Issues in the Niger Delta, the creeks, and the attendant problems about meeting our production quota, and issues like that. Ecology, despoilation of the land, and such other environmental issues. For the Northeast Development Commission, it was the insurgency that has crept into the zone for almost 10 years now. But the Northeast Development Commission was created in the year 2017, last like six years ago. So the priorities, like I said, for the Niger Delta Development Commission is very clear: addressing environmental issues and uprising, so to speak, by the restive youth in the community. Thank God all those issues have been dealt with. For the Northeast, it's been quite hectic, from insurgency to issues about resettling inhabitants, taking care of people in their farms, their homes, despoilation of the land, destruction of infrastructure, roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals. We've had to deal with these developmental challenges, albeit. All
right, but what would be the focus on the Northwest Development Commission? You've talked about the NEDC. Yeah. I was trying to ask about the Northeast Development Commission and the Northwest Development Commission. You've told us about the NEDC. What about the NWDC? What's the focus there?
The Northwest, like I said in the beginning, all the regions have peculiar problems. There are some problems that are unique to those regions. For the Northwest, I believe, like most of us out there do, that right now, the most pressing of issues for the Northwest is security, access to infrastructure. Of course, when there is a breakdown of law and order, like we've seen in those areas, ungoverned areas where the bandits, thank God, the military are doing their best and they're stemming the tide. But for those areas that are relatively under those people, will need to flush them out. So you see that there's a security component taking charge of that to make sure that citizens live peacefully in their places.
That means the ministry will be partnering with other ministries.
Definitely.
In that regard.
Our mandate requires that you partner with the states. You cannot walk into the state and start. You will first of all need to do a needs assessment by collaborating with the states, getting what their issues are. For us at the Commission, being the overseeing ministry, we have the mandate to collaborate with states so as to get their needs so that we produce made-to-measure kind of solutions. In a nutshell, what applies, what may be the priorities of the Northeast through the Northeast Development Commission may not necessarily be the same for the Northwest Development Commission. But basically, being from the North, there are areas where they have similar, like areas pertaining to agriculture, access to land, water management, creation of development of dams, canals, and such other sources of water to bring farming, modern and smart farming, to communities in these ravaged areas.
Beautiful, Honorable Minister. Now, from what you said, every region has its peculiar needs. Now, two regions are yet to have development commissions. What is the ministry doing to expedite action on the legislations to establish them?
If you know how laws are made, you know that there are two ways. It either comes through an executive bill or it comes from member-sponsored bills. So I don't want to preempt the system or what's in the pipeline. I would rather just say that Nigerians should expect some more commissions for reasons of equity, for balance, and service delivery. This president is committed to providing a level playing ground for every Nigerian. And I want to use this medium to thank sincerely Mr. President for creating these commissions, putting all the regions on the same on the same platform. Before now, many people have had to argue that Nigeria's best periods in development, that is the time when we had it the best in terms of commerce, in terms of agri, in terms of infrastructure, was when Nigeria operated as regions. It's arguable, but one fact that you can't deny is that we really witnessed development, the positive competition of development from the regions. And this is what exactly Mr. President is trying to replicate. For those proponents of going back to the regions, Mr. President has taken the positives and left out the negatives. So how do I mean? He has given you the opportunity to recreate granite pyramids in Kano, cocoa in Ibadan, coal in Enugu. That is the message here. We have an opportunity to get back our resources, develop this country, build infrastructure, and get Nigeria working again.
Nigeria working again. Fantastic line. Because of time, we have to let you go. But I'd like to hear your message to Nigerians as we round up the conversation, of course, for the new year and the coming years.
Well, I will just say Happy New Year, Nigerians. And from us at the new Ministry of Regional Development, we want to wish Nigerians a bountiful year ahead and to continue to be patient and prayerful to this government because it's our responsibility. And by the grace of God, at the end of it all, we will be all pleased that we had Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as President of Nigeria from 2023, God willing, to 2031.
Many thanks, Uba Maigari Ahmadu, the Minister of State, Regional Development. Many thanks for joining us on News
Thanks
Extra.
for having me once again.
All right, wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.